Welcome to Stoic Origin. Let me start with a question. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, even though you were right? Have you ever confronted someone for crossing a line, only to end up apologizing for noticing it? Or maybe someone asked you a simple question, just one question, and suddenly your confidence collapsed, your stomach tightened, your mind went blank? If you've experienced this, you didn't just talk to a liar. You talked to a strategist, someone who understands the psychology of control, someone who uses questions, not answers, to slowly pull you into a mental trap. Most people think manipulators reveal themselves through their lies. But the truth is far more dangerous. Manipulators reveal themselves through the questions they ask. These questions aren't random. They're calculated. They're rehearsed. They're designed to push you off balance and make you surrender your voice before the conversation even begins. Today, I'm going to give you the emotional armor to protect your mind from these psychological attacks. Because once you can identify these questions, you don't just win the conversation. You win your self-respect back. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And today, you take that power back. Let's begin. 1. Why would you think that? The seed of self-doubt. Trap. This is one of the most dangerous questions a manipulator can ask. On the surface, it sounds innocent, casual, even reasonable. But beneath the surface, this question is a dagger wrapped in cotton. Manipulators use this when they're caught, not to explain themselves, but to make you feel ashamed for noticing the obvious. This question flips the script instantly. You came to confront them with something they did. But suddenly, you're defending your feelings, your intuition, your emotional intelligence. You start to think, maybe I overreacted. Maybe I misread the situation. Maybe I'm the problem. And that is exactly what they want. This question plants a seed of doubt. And doubt grows fast. A mind filled with doubt is a mind ready to be controlled. A mind ready to be softened. A mind ready to surrender. Marcus Aurelius warned us, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If someone can make you believe your thoughts are flawed, your instincts are wrong, and your perception is unreliable. They can control your entire emotional world. The Stoic response? Do not defend your feelings. Do not explain your intuition. Do not justify your awareness. When someone asks, "Why would you think that?" say this: "Because your actions raised concern." Simple, direct, unshakable. You don't owe anyone a dissertation on why you trusted your instincts. Your instincts are a survival mechanism, not a problem. 2. Who told you that? The reverse investigation trap. This question is not curiosity. It is a hunting tool. Manipulators use it to gather information. Who exposed them? Who they need to intimidate, guilt-trip, or charm next? How much of the truth you actually know? How fast they need to build a counter-story. When they ask, "Who told you that?" they are not focused on the truth. They are focused on containment. They need to know where the leak is. They need to know how big the fire is. They need to know if they can still spin the narrative in their favor. Epictetus taught, "Be silent at the right moment and speak when necessary." A Stoic does not reveal a source. A Stoic does not put honest people in danger. A Stoic never hands over information that can be weaponized. The manipulator wants names. They want details. They want to know who they need to eliminate from your circle. But the wise answer? That's irrelevant. Let's talk about your behavior. This is a power move, a psychological foot stomp. It signals, "I'm not playing your game." I'm not giving you ammunition. I'm not losing control of this conversation. The moment you refuse to answer, their strategy collapses. Manipulators rely on information extraction like predators rely on vision. If you blind them, they lose their advantage. 3. Are you really going to ruin this over something small? Do you want to make this a big deal? The emotional guilt trap. This question doesn't attack your logic. It attacks your heart. Manipulators know you care about the relationship, the friendship, the peace, the harmony. So they use that against you. This question is engineered to make you feel responsible for the chaos they caused. It reframes your attempt to address the truth as an act of destruction. Suddenly, you're the one ruining everything. You're the one bringing drama. You're the one making things harder. This question is a psychological chokehold. It squeezes your emotions until your logic suffocates. Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Manipulators make you suffer emotionally before you even finish your sentence, because they know one thing: if they can make you feel guilty, they don't have to be accountable. When someone asks, "Are you really going to make this a big deal?" here's what they're really saying: I don't want consequences. I don't want to change. I want you to stay silent. I want the benefits of the relationship without the responsibility. But a Stoic never negotiates with guilt. A Stoic never trades truth for temporary comfort. A Stoic never sacrifices self-respect to preserve a connection built on dishonesty. If someone weaponizes your compassion, your silence becomes their shield. And the longer you tolerate manipulation, the deeper their roots grow. The Stoic answer? If it matters to me, then it is not small. Say this calmly, firmly, without anger. Truth does not need rage. It needs courage. 4. Can't we just forget this and move on? The avoidance trap. This is the final gambit, the last defense, the manipulator's emergency exit. When they realize you're not falling for self-doubt, not falling for guilt, not falling for emotional pressure, they attempt the peace illusion. Can't we just move on? Let's drop it. Why can't we just forget this happened? I don't want to fight. But this is not about peace. This is about avoidance. Avoidance is a manipulator's favorite hiding place. It protects them from accountability. It shields them from growth. It preserves their comfort at the cost of your clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." When someone tries to skip accountability, they block the path to healing. They block the path to understanding. They block the path to change. Someone who says, "Forget about it," before fixing it, is not asking for forgiveness. They're asking for permission to do it again. Avoidance isn't peace. Avoidance is postponing destruction. And every time you allow avoidance, you teach them that your boundaries are negotiable. The Stoic response? We move on after we address it, not instead of addressing it. This sentence is pure power. It is emotional maturity in a single line. Because real peace comes from truth, ownership, and responsibility, not from sweeping problems under the rug. The pattern of manipulation. Exposed. Let's put all 4 questions together. 1. Why would you think that? Makes you doubt yourself. 2. Who told you that? Makes you expose others. 3. Are you really going to make this a big deal? Makes you feel guilty. 4. Can't we just move on? Makes you ignore the problem. This is the manipulator's roadmap. A step-by-step emotional ambush. First, they weaken your confidence. Then, they extract information. Then they guilt-trip you. Then they try to bury the issue. It's not random, it's a system. But once you recognize the system, you break the spell. Because a Stoic sees clearly. A Stoic does not fall for mental traps. A Stoic does not lose themselves in someone else's emotional chaos. Your calmness is your weapon. Your clarity is your shield. Your awareness is your freedom. If you're still watching, that means you're someone who values growth, who values clarity, who values inner peace. And that deserves recognition. Most people go their entire lives fighting the same emotional battles because they never learned the rules of manipulation. But today, you've armed yourself with the wisdom the ancient philosophers lived by. If this video helped you, if it opened your eyes, if it strengthened your mind even a little, then take a moment to support this message. Like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Stoic Origin. Your support helps this channel grow so we can keep spreading Stoic wisdom to a world drowning in emotional manipulation. Thank you for your strength, your attention, and your time. I'll see you in the next video, right here on Stoic Origin.